Hey everybody, welcome to Top 10 Thursday on the Leek. I'm John as always, and today, with the pre-release and launch of Ixalan on the horizon, we're going to take a look at the top 10 rares and mythics that I most want to play with. Now, this is absolutely not the top 10 rares and mythics, this is simply the 10 that I most want to try out. Be it to find out if they're powerful or terrible, see how they work out in the format, or simply just look like a lot of fun. This list won't be a hit-for-hit breakdown of the absolute most powerful cards. No Carnage Tyrant here. That being said, number 10 is Vraska, who probably is one of the, if not the best cards in the set. Vraska looks like a lot of fun. Getting to make 2 protection choices after casting her, do you make a 2-2 or do you kill something and get a treasure, is going to be a fun decision to make, and simply saying, you go to 1. After only a few turns of her being alive will make for a story for sure. So at number 10 is Vraska, Relic Seeker. Up next at number 9 is Mavrin Fane, Dusk Apostle. Mavrin just looks like such a solid build-around. Taking this pack one, pick one, or getting it in a vampire-rich sealed pool is going to result in some very fun games where you just start flooding the board with 1/1s. If you can combine it with some of the other vampire synergies, then things will just get nutty. Number 9, Mavrin Fane, Dusk Apostle. Argul's Bloodfast is up next at number 8. This card has value written all over it. Being able to turn 2 mana and 2 life into a card is going to feel great from the first time that you do it. If you have some life gain shenanigans going on, getting to do this a ton is going to feel really, really busted. Then, if I feel like flipping this, maybe I've found myself in danger at 5 life or less, I can potentially start digging myself out. Seems great, and I'd be very happy to see this in a pack real soon. Number 7 is yet another black card, Sanctum Seeker. Again, a very powerful build-around like Mavrin Fane, and ridiculous with Mavrin Fane. I've always loved seeing Hellrider in the packs way back when I was playing that set, and still do love seeing it in Cube. Sanctum Seeker is definitely more narrow, but the lure of building around it is just too strong. I really can't wait to get a chance to play with Sanctum Seeker. Up next at number 6 is Growing Rights of Itlamok. Ultimately, I think this is going to be less good than Gaia's Cradle is in Cube. Cube is busted. That's the point of it. Dropping a half dozen 1-drops that make mana as well is par for the course, and powering out a 9 or 10 drop on turn 3 or 4 is not unheard of. It's in fact somewhat common. It will be hard here though, I'm pretty sure of it. The 1-drops generally aren't great, and they don't usually make mana. In fact, I think it's a 2-drop that makes mana, or a 3-drop that makes mana. And green isn't really getting the token generation that it sometimes gets, or that white is getting this time around. Still, I do want to see if low drop Growing Rights Whoops Dinosaur is something that I can pull off, and I'll be playing Growing Rights every single time I can. Number 5 is Thematic Compass. Kind of a boring card on the front, though a good one nonetheless. Going and getting the land that I need, fitting my deck, spending my mana, these all sound great. But then, getting access to Maze of Ith? A Maze of Ith that taps for mana? I can't wait to play this, and it feels like a nigh-on instant first pick, especially as it keeps you open. Thematic Compass seems right up my alley, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. At number 4 is Vona, Butcher of Magan. Again, a really, really good card, and I'd bet one of the top probably 10, if not 5, of the set. Getting a 4/4 Vigilance lifelinker for 5 is great right there, but then getting to kill things left and right for 7 life, which you're hopefully refilling by attacking with this, and other lifelinkers just sounds disgusting. I think any tournament that I have Vona in is one that I'm going to have an awful lot of fun in. Number 4, Vona, Butcher of Magan. At number 3 is Boneyard Parlay. I have no idea how good this is going to be, and I really want to try it out to find out. The ceiling is gigantic, but it's the floor and the average case scenario that I'm more curious about. Getting potentially the best creature from any graveyard is a really big game. Then maybe getting 2 or 3, depending on how your opponent piles them instead, it's going to be a great play. I think the primarily only reason this could fall apart is if it's just too slow to come out, or if you're in a game where things just aren't dying readily enough. But I've got to give it a try and find out. So number 3 is Boneyard Parlay. Number 2 is the king of all mana sinks, Conqueror's Galleon, and more importantly, Conqueror's Foothold. Being a 2/10 vehicle is already kind of ridiculous if I'm not getting in with an attack with it, and How am I not getting in with an attack with it? Then I have a ludicrous blocker, which is fine. Then once it sets sails, turning into the best mana sink that we've seen in years is just something I can't avoid. I need this card. I need to play with this card a lot. Getting to use basically whatever mana I have left over, be it 6 this turn or 2, and getting something very real for it in return is going to feel just amazing. This is the card that made me have really high expectations for the set, and I need to play with it. Finally, at number 1 is Revel in Riches. I love alternate win conditions. No, they're not often good or reliable, but yes, I always give them a try at least once. This one doesn't look impossible. There's an awful lot of treasure production in black and blue, and you can even dip into red if you want more. Getting some repeatable production in some way will make this even better to get to. And then finally backing it up with removal spells to trigger the first part of Revel in Riches is the last step of the plan, or my plan anyways. I honestly have no idea how reliable it'll be and realistically expect it to be bad, but it's easily the number 1 card that I most want to give it a try. Unfortunately, if I see it this weekend, I'm probably unlikely to play it because I expect that you have to draft around it to actually pull it off. It would take a very specific sealed pool to win with Revel in Riches. That's going to wrap it up for my top 10 mythics and rares that I want to try out in Ixalan. Let me know down below which ones you're most excited to try out. Pre-release is as little as 24 hours away for some viewers, and I hope you're all as excited as I am. I cannot wait for this set, and it's not just because it's Hour of Devastation Namaketa is over. It's because Ixalan looks exactly like a set that I love. There's mana sinks. It looks slightly slower. There's a fast deck in it that is still to be respected. It looks like everything I've ever wanted. So I'm really excited about Ixalan. There's going to be all kinds of pre-release recap content, box openings. There's going to be a Chaos Draft recap next week like there is every pre-release time. And then, of course, we'll be doing drafting nonstop coming up next week. So make sure that you do check all that out. If you do have any questions, comments, or suggestions, you can find me on Twitter at the Mana Leek. That's L-E-E-K, like the vegetable, not the card. You can also find me at facebook.com/themanaleek, twitch.tv/themanaleek, and patreon.com/themanaleek, where you can become a backer, sponsor a draft. I'm looking at doing sponsored Crack-A-Packs as well, where you'll actually get the cards from the Crack-A-Pack mailed out to you. No promises on that yet, but I'm looking into it. And of course, you can work your way towards earning a Mana Leek playmat. There's, I think, upwards of 10 of them out in the wild right now, and many more going out in the next few months. So make sure that you do check that out. If you do have any questions, comments, or suggestions, though, let me know. Otherwise, see y'all next time.